Yeah.
Check 1, 2. Very good. Hi everybody, welcome. Thanks for coming out to Hardrocker Luncheon, sponsored by Pancheros. Appreciate the great burritos that they provide for us, and I look forward to a great weekend of Hardrocker basketball. 2 doubleheaders Friday and Saturday, and we want to invite up a guy that had a big victory last week over Black Hill State to talk about it. Head coach of the Hardrocker men, Jason Henry.
Well, thanks for coming out today again, and happy to see you all here. Looking forward to only talking about 1 game and 2 games coming forward instead of talking about 7 or 8 games and being up here for half an hour. But I'm sure I'll stretch it out to 25 minutes some way here and kind of go from there. So actually, Andrew Rebol's here. He can talk hopefully more than I do today and get some questions answered, and have another senior here to talk to you and talk about the past games, talk about the season, talk about him, and kind of go from there. So yeah, recap on the BH game. Obviously coming back from that road trip where it wasn't exactly much fun out in Texas and New Mexico. To be honest, I didn't know how our guys would react. And they came back on that Wednesday and had a good practice on Wednesday, a spirited practice, and it just made me feel that much better. I still didn't know if we could find a way to get a win. You just never know what happens the day of on a rivalry game. But our guys showed up and played well, and it was one of the better basketball games. Just guys hitting shots and making free throws, not turning the ball over. Just a clean game for that time of year, and it was a fun game to be a part of. There's no doubt about it. So it's always better to come out on top, and it makes it even that much more fun. But just to be a part of those rivalry games every year are very good for our students, our athletes, obviously. But it will be nice when we get in a conference when we're playing double headers again. And getting our crowds there as far as our students go, and having an opportunity to experience that kind of atmosphere, and definitely a big time college atmosphere. So a couple guys that stepped up in that game. One, Andrew, that we'll talk about in a second. He's been struggling this year with some injury and then some illness, and just not playing up to how he wants to play and how we need him to play. I was just talking to somebody yesterday, and we basically, structuring our offense around him being in there, early on and changing some things, and for not having him for, 2/3 of the year, we've kind of had to, on the fly, change a couple things offensively, but now we're able to go back to what we really want to do, and having Connor and him in there at the same time is very, very effective, when they're playing well, and that's something that we have to do down the stretch for us to be successful. So he had a big game for us. Connor Kulis obviously did again, did some great things, and then we had a couple of our freshmen, which they played a lot of minutes this year. I don't even consider them freshmen really anymore, but Jay Sean hits a big shot, which we'll get to see on film, I believe. Hits a shot at the end. But Travis also had, he ran a set for him on an OB play and slipped it, and great pass from Jay Sean too. Layup there, and then he gets 2, I won't talk about should have been dunks and all that kind of stuff, but we won't go there, I guess, just because this is on the internet. So, but yeah, guy gets tackled, and it should have been an intentional fall, and don't get anything on it. But then to turn around, and I think Andrew or somebody made a play down there, and I believe that was Black Hills' only 2 turnovers of the half, and they happened in about a 15-second period, and to make a big play that way too. Travis ended up with a dunk at the other end, but guys on our end, Andrew, was that you? Somebody made a tip, and we'll give credit. Yeah. All right, well, Andrew's here, so Andrew made the big play. But anyway, he went down there and made another big move. So a couple freshmen stepping up, but overall just a great team effort. We're excited where we're at right now, going into practice. Had a very good practice on Monday. Tuesday we did our individuals. We got back to what we're trying to do, just as we were in a conference, and what we do Mondays, Tuesdays. Now today we're going to have a real good practice, hopefully again, sugar up some things, and then Thursday getting ready for the games this weekend. We play an old DAC opponent in Dickinson State, and then presentation, another team that has gone back to NAIA and playing in that conference up there as well, and they're definitely a different looking team than the presentations of old. There's no doubt about it. They're got some great quickness, some very athletic guys, a little bit undersized, which we're going to see a couple games now, probably 4 of our 8 games this year, is it's going to come down to us. And you know, we talked about Andrew needing to be in there and our post guys with Justin and Joe, but to be honest, they basically have one good post guy, and when he's out, they go very, very small. Both teams will. You know, a couple other teams down the future here that we will play go small. Lubbock Christian did that to us, and we ended up, you know, taking our guys and kind of matching up with them and did a great job with it. And I can see that happening, especially this weekend. Then we go to Fort Hays and Kearney, and the Bigs will play a ton then. But that might be something that we're already looking at, of going a little bit smaller and playing 4 guards and doing some things that way. So, but either way, guards are on the floor or not, we definitely got to dominate on the offensive boards, on the rebounding side of it. And they got to match up with us too. You know, that's a big thing when you're playing bigs, is they got to find a way to match up with that. But it just seems like it's, you know, whether it's officiating, whether it's the game of basketball, and it's just guard play, they kind of get away with anything, and that's universal when you have a big strong post in there and you got a 6'3" guy trying to guard him. The 6'3" guy can basically do anything he wants, and that gets very frustrating for, you know, the post guys, for the coaches, and that kind of thing. So we'll see how it goes, but either way, we're going to be prepared for both options of playing big and playing small this weekend against 2 very good teams. So we're excited about where we're at, but you know, we got to defend our home court now coming up this weekend. So any questions? Yes. Want to look at the highlights first? I have plenty of questions. Do not ask me about the officials, please. All right. Just real quick, some of our stuff here. This looks like beginning of the game, just running a set. Middle of the game there. Travis just hitting a big 3. We need to get going. He was actually hurt all week, and we'll talk a little bit about that. A good steal here that Philip's able to go coast to coast, and Philip is playing exceptionally well right now. He's done a lot of great things for us, and we need him to continue to do that. Here's that slip I was talking about with Travis, and just a good pass that we got, and we needed that one at the end. It was, you know, under 5 minutes or whatever, and needed a hoop, and then of course just going to Andrew. You know, we don't want him necessarily fading away right there, but he did some other things going to the basket that, to be honest, he just really hasn't done this year. You know, a lot of it's because of the injuries and that kind of stuff, but just right here, Andrew being Andrew, and Andrew will replay that over and over. That's what you need to do, Andrew, right there. But we'll see a lot of that hopefully this weekend, and away we go. There was that wonderful thing, and then, like I said, it ended up being Andrew or Connor, or whoever that was, and that was a huge play for us, getting those 2 stops basically in a row with the turnovers and finishing with the dunk. And then I think this is Jay Sean at the end here. We're just trying to run some clock here, actually running a set to look for some things. Don't get anything, let's come and get it. And like I said, we're up 1 at this point, so we want to make sure we got a good shot and obviously run one of our shot clock plays here. Just call it our push up and come up. Don't set a great screen, but they switch it, and Jay Sean sees the mismatch and goes up at him, and I didn't think that sucker was going in, but hung on there, and thank goodness it did, that's for sure. But bottom line is, then we came back after that. We had 12 seconds left, defended well the 3-point line, and you know, I know Ken was even asking, don't you guys fall in that situation? And to be honest, we don't. When it's 5 seconds or less, and it's full court, you can get them to half court, and you can get to 3 seconds, we will fall. Sometimes, you know, worst case scenario is you go into overtime in that situation, and believe me, we've not fallen and gone into overtime. You know, in fact, one of them was against Dickinson a couple years ago. So there are some advantages, but when it's things that you haven't had a chance to practice a ton, and all of a sudden there's 12 seconds left, and you say, okay, let's fall, and then they fall in at 10 seconds instead of under 5. Now they make 2 free throws, or they miss the second one, then it's a tip back, and there's so many scenarios that can happen that you can actually lose the game instead of just going to overtime. You know, we like to stay away from those situations. But every time we go to the national convention and all the articles out there, and you know, it's like a 50-50 deal what coaches do. But like I said, a lot of it is determined by how much you've had a chance to practice that thing. But once again, officials, now you do try to fall, and then they do shoot it, and then the sucker goes in, then they make a free throw, next thing you know it's a 4-point player. I mean, there's just so many things that can happen, especially with that amount of time. But not saying we never will, but it is something that we did a great job. They had a contested look, and if it went in, it went in. We go into overtime, and we beat them in overtime. So, but that's Jay Sean, like I said, putting us in that situation that we can be up 3 and not have to get a 2-pointer to beat us. So anyway, any questions on any of that? Any questions on the games coming up? Awesome. All right. Andrew Rebol. Andrew's been in our program now for a few years. Like I said, this year's been a little bit slow for him. I know it's been frustrating for him, been frustrating for kind of everybody, and that's just injuries. You know, it's he came here and he had a knee injury and had to sit out the year. Recovered great from that. And really hasn't had a lot of problems with injuries. You know, some nagging ones, and you know, obviously, yeah, knocking wood here. We got those taken care of for this year. But it's been a chance now where he's got his 8-9 games, whatever we have left, to hopefully be healthy. You know, for sure we need him to win. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But for him, you know, you see a senior come in, put in all that time and effort, and have a great career so far. You want him to finish on the floor and hopefully be successful with wins and losses. But bottom line is play well. And I think that's a start. You know, with the BH game, it's nice to play well in that game and to get a win. It feels good. But we need him for these next ones to play well. And he's definitely capable of doing that. So we're excited to have him in our program academically. He's done here next semester. He'll tell you about that, and probably tell you a little bit of how he got here for getting his 4.0 this semester, which is absolutely incredible. It's incredible for anybody, but it's really incredible for Andrew Rebol. He's put in a lot of hard work, a lot of time, and we love him to death, and great to have him in our program. Andrew.
That was a question.
I'm not sure how I'm supposed to talk more than Coach Henry. Like you said, it is pretty amazing. I got a 4.0 this semester. I started out in Centenary College down in Louisiana. Do you remember my GPA?
Yes, I do.
What was it? I think it was.
You're not going to repeat it.
Okay, it was very low. Right? It was not very good. So to come here at a great school, you know, great academic school, it's tough to turn it around. But with the team, I was able to do it, and with the support we had, you know, with the older guys. So it was good to get a win from BH, like all of you know. I don't know, I guess I'm not really sure what I need to be saying. I'm more open for questions than what you guys want to say. So any questions, go.
What's your major, Andrew?
I'm industrial engineering, senior this year. Yeah, Dr. Kirk's my advisor. He's helped me out a lot going through this transition from Centenary to here. So yeah, I had to learn how to study.
What was your father's major in college?
Electrical engineering.
Thank you.
Yeah. University of Colorado. I don't know what year you graduated though. Yeah. Oh, come on, I think it is.
So
Yeah.
how did Coach Henry find you?
That's a good question.
GPA?
That's a long story. The way I know it, my sister's best friend's husband, right, new coach, he saw me play down in Louisiana, and can you tell the story? I'm not exactly sure.
Basically, one of our old players and told us about him. And obviously, Andrew's a good student. Part of the reason why, you know, his GPA, and I don't want to speak for him, wasn't very good. Is he was basically doing the same kind of schedule as we were. They were playing the Summit League, but and why he even left was the simple fact that they were going and cutting scholarships and that kind of stuff at the school. But bottom line is he was gone on bus trips up to North Dakota, playing North Dakota State, some of those gone for weeks at a time, and just wasn't in school. And then when he was probably there, he probably wasn't in school like he should have been. So probably a bad combination that way. But as far as him able to do it and that kind of thing, and his academics coming out of high school were fantastic. And that's why he was even able to get into the school here. It wasn't, you know, a lot from what he had done, but part of that was that case. So anyway, found him there, knew he was looking to leave just because they're cutting scholarships, being a so-called regional local kid for us, and just made contact after the season, and ended up him coming here.
It's kind of crazy. A change of atmosphere really helps too, you know what I mean? Down there, a lot of the guys on the team didn't really care about academics, you know, a lot of them were there for basketball. And you come here and it's just an academic atmosphere. You know, you're here to get a degree, and you're going to go get a job, and that's how it is. So it's just kind of crazy how much that can change someone. So yeah, helped a lot.
You want to know how you got in here?
Yes.
James Dean.
Yeah. I'm sure most of you know James Dean. Yeah. At least heard of it.
Also transferred in here with some academic difficulties. James showed you around when you came up when you were visiting.
I know he vouched for me.
I said to James, can he do this? And James said, better than I am. James came here with a very low grade point average and graduated with honors. So I'm looking at the same thing for Andrew.
All right.
Why does Coach Henry not want us to ask him about the officials?
Have you seen him react after the officials been called and whatnot? I don't know. You don't want to ask me either. I guess I have to control myself a little more. I can't yell at him without getting a tech. But you know, you've seen how ready he gets. That's all.
Andrew, you had a great game against DH. I mean, that was probably one of the best games I've seen you play. Are you healthy now? Are you 100%?
I am as good as I'm going to be the rest of the season. You know, I've had that ankle problem's really been hurting me. I had the flu, which was not fun. Take the flu shots, I'd recommend. But I think I'm going to be as healthy as I am for the rest of the season. My ankle is going to be great. You know, I'm just ready to be playing again. So.
What's your realization that your career is winding down? How do you feel about it?
It's bittersweet. You know, I'm ready to stop getting on the line and running, but I'm going to miss the guys. I'm going to miss coach. I'm going to miss playing in the games. I'm going to miss winning. And I think when I'm done, it's going to be nice to see what it feels like to actually be a student and just go to school, not have basketball, but also I'm going to miss basketball. I don't know. I'm honestly worried I might get a little out of shape, you know, gain a little bit of weight without someone telling me to run. So I'm going to have to figure out how to eat healthy and run more on my own. But I don't know. It's definitely going to be bittersweet. So, yeah.
Didn't you have a good game against Black Hills a couple of years ago?
I think so, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I always get a little more excited for rivalry games, which might be something I need to work on just because, you know, I get excited for every single game and not just the rivalry games. But I really want to win when it comes to BA. So it's something I show up for, that's for sure. But I think.
Remember that you're just about unstoppable in that one game against Black Hills about 2 or 3 years ago.
Had to have been 2 years ago. It was 3 years ago we were playing. I'm trying to think. I don't know. I think I had a little run there, I want to say, because that was when Schafer was still here. I showed up for those games too. But one thing as a senior you do learn is that you never stop learning. I mean, practicing, I got 5 weeks left in basketball, and working with Coach Glenn, I'm learning something new every single day. And I don't know everything, and it's kind of something we try to, as seniors, relay down to the freshmen and sophomores, that you don't know everything, because a lot of them come in, they're the best player on their team in high school, and they come in thinking they know everything. Well, you get a couple coaches that actually know what they're talking about, and you keep learning and you keep learning. So one thing as a senior, you kind of realize that you don't know everything and that you got a lot of learning to do. So.
Anything else for Andrew?
Tell us about your free throws, Hugh.
What's that?
Tell us about your free throws.
Can I not talk about that? Can you pass that question? No. I need to work. I don't know. It's all mental. Free throws are all mental. And once you start missing a couple, it gets in your head and you think about it too much, and it's an easy shot, and when you're thinking about it, it's not as easy. So yeah, I just need to stop thinking about it and knock them down. But I had a lot better percentage in high school than I do right now. So
Have you started looking for jobs?
I have a couple internships. I come back next semester, so I'll graduate December 15th. So I'm really hoping to get an internship this summer and kind of see where it takes me from there. So I got a possible job with Raytheon. I'm thinking that might work out. Another company out in Iowa, another company in Colorado. So just trying to find an internship. Thank God for the career fair. You know, that just this school works so great with that. So yeah, that definitely helps. Any other questions? Dr. Kirk, you look like you've been wanting to ask something.
Okay, how many times have you been struck by lightning?
Oh, God.
You don't have to answer.
So I have safety engineering with Dr. Kirk, so we obviously talk about all kinds of safety. I was struck by lightning working on for an oil company up in Wyoming. I don't know, have many of you heard this story? No? You never heard? Should I tell the story? It's kind of, okay. All right, so basically, we were packing up shop. We were done. It was the end of the day. It had been raining today. I remember seeing some lightning, and I asked my boss, does that mean we get to go home? He said, no, it doesn't mean anything, you know, and I'm not going to complain. I'm kind of the young, I'm the worm on the rig. They do, you know, go pick that up, go move that. So we're packing up, and one of the truck has a leak underneath it. A little short guy, gets underneath the truck, can't reach it. So he says, Andrew, get down here. And I get underneath this water truck, so I'm laying on my side. And there's about 7 or 8 guys, you know, standing around this truck just waiting to go home. The lightning hits the truck and uses me as the ground. Knocks me out instantly. I was out, I don't know, maybe 15 seconds, I'd say. when I woke up, there was pretty horrific pain. You know, I couldn't control anything. I couldn't control what I was looking. I was trying to scream. I couldn't scream because I couldn't. All my muscles were spasming. It was a pretty horrible feeling. It was like that for about 10 minutes. It kind of tapered off after about 10, 15 minutes. I started to understand what was going on. You know, I saw the guy who I'd asked earlier if that meant we got to go home crying because, you know, he was a good friend of mine. He thought he killed me. So the ambulance shows up and the guy says, you know, can you stand up? And I'm like, yeah, I think I can. So I stand up, walk to the ambulance, hop in the back of the ambulance. They hook me up on all kinds of heart monitors, make sure I don't have a irregular heartbeat. You know, it's not going to stop on me. And it's about a 45-minute drive. There's a few funny things in this story. So I text my best friend and I call my dad. And my dad says, you know, don't tell your mom. She'll worry sick. So I'm like, okay, I'm coming home the next day. I'll tell her today, and that way she doesn't have to worry. So my best friend can't get a hold of my dad, calls my mom, and said, Andrew got struck by lightning. Is he all right? You know, what? You know, I've never heard my mom as angry as when she called me because I did not tell her that I got struck by lightning. So then we get to the hospital, and the doctor walks in. And he says, you know, I've never dealt with a lightning strike before, so I have to look some stuff up on the internet. And just don't tell me that, please. I don't want to hear that. Google's my doctor. I can do it myself at home. But either way, so I'm okay now. I had to go back to the hospital a couple more times, just check my heart and make sure. I guess I think I'm okay. They always say that explains a lot whenever I tell people the stories. So.
Well, that explains the whole GPA.
Yeah, there we go. So yeah, that was my the summer before going into college. So I was still probably recovering from that my freshman year. And it's finally wearing off now. That must be it. Yeah.
And you're worried about an ankle injury. Come on. Hardrocker women's doubleheader as well. They play Dickinson in presentation as well. Hardrocker women's head coach is Ryan Larsen.
Friday, sitting in the stands watching that game, Coach Henry, I was about ready to jump up and run the court and tell you to foul. So, you foul every time there. You do it. Okay? We fouled this year, we won the game. All right?
We did, we won.
We don't even practice it. We don't even practice it. It worked out just well for us. You had me worried. I didn't know why you did foul, but good job. Great game, honestly. You know, it's funny. Nate sends out kind of the lineup for these. Who's speaking first and whatnot, and I'm always curious about where I'm at because, you know, I got a problem when I speak in front of Coach Henry. Afterwards, he always makes fun of me. How many times I say "really" or something like that. But when he speaks in front of me, he always steals my thunder, so I don't have a whole lot to say. Especially after Andrew. Holy cow! Good job. I don't have a whole lot to say today. We got one of our seniors, McKenzie Kenny, here today to talk. We'll bring her up in a few minutes. We do have some highlights from last week, the BH game. I feel much better today than I did last week at this time, that's for sure, physically and mentally, everything else. We talked about a lot last week about just not being able to practice a whole lot, and it's been a good week for us. We were able to get in the gym for 3 straight days, then we took Sunday and Monday off, and were able to practice again yesterday. But the 3 practices that we had last week were about as spirited as the practices that we've had in a long time. Especially Saturday. You know, we competed in every drill that we did Saturday, and there was a consequence for everything, you know, for the losers. And it was good to see some of that competitive spirit come out again. You know, this time of year, you know, it gets difficult. Practices get long. You know, the kids are tired of hearing me say things over and over and over and over again. But it was good to get back in the gym and just really get our competitive juices going again. And that did us a world of good. We followed up 2 days off with a good practice yesterday. We were really sharp offensively, defensively. Saw the ball go through the hole a little bit, which is always nice. And that's exactly what we needed. That's exactly what the basketball guys needed us to do, was just get in the gym and work on ourselves. Now we start preparing a little bit for our opponents this weekend. You know, we got 2 good teams coming in this weekend. You know that the record may not show it, but they're tough. You know, Coach Henry talked a lot about, you know, some of these teams, they're smaller than what we are, and those are tough teams to play against. You know, when you're trying to play two bigs, you know, at once that we like to do, and then match up with 4 or 5 little guards running around there, they're dribbling around and shooting threes. That's hard matchups for us, but it's good for us at the same time. And more than anything, worried about what our opponents do this weekend. As always, I say it's about what we do and how well we do it, and that's kind of, again, a great reason that we were able to get back in the gym, just refocus on what we do. So Friday, Saturday, it's more about how we want to compete, you know, where our standards are of how we want to play, you know, and just then worry about their opponents second. You know, if we're doing our offense and defense right, executing well, you know, we shouldn't have to worry too much about what the opponent's doing. We want them to worry about what we're doing. So again, great to get back in the gym this week and take care of that. We do have some clips from last week's BH game. Not sure what play this is right here. This is in the first half. I think this is Mac here. This is one of our offensive, or one of our motion sets here. We're just running good offense. Here's a great play by Mac, slip into the basket, and Callie Peterson finds. That's one thing that McKenzie does extremely well. She's got a high basketball IQ and just makes smart plays. And if we can get her the basketball, that's usually the result is a layup. Here's a really good post up by her, and again a great pass by Callie. Smart play by both of them there. Callie Peterson had a great game along with Mac. Unfortunately, Mac didn't get a stick in this game for us. She fouled out. This is a great play here. Oh, I showed that up there. That's like the equivalent of a dunk in women's basketball right there. They and Roar going right through one of their defenders for an N1. That was a heck of a play. Again, Callie with the basketball. Another really good, smart, heady play by Callie here, I believe, running one of our other motions. Here, Devin slips to the basket, and that's a great pass right there. You know, so that's one thing. When we're playing well, if we're screening and we're moving, and we see options that aren't always the first option, you know, we can score baskets like that quite a bit. And those were some good possessions, and that's what we needed to get back to doing. Not just looking at our first option every time and staring it down, because I've seen teams scout that, and they're going to try to take that away. So if you can counter it and make the pass, hopefully you can score some layups like that right there. So those are 3 really good possessions for us right there. You'll start to see a lot more of that, hopefully. I feel good about what we've got accomplished in the last 3-4 practices. So McKenzie Kenny, I tell you what, this young lady, very special to me. She, I don't think there's a kid that's come so far, one basketball-wise, and then just growing up and becoming an adult and a young, just a fine, outstanding young lady. That's you know, early on in your coaching career, all you want to think about is, you know, wins and losses and, you know, all that stuff that's kind of superficial. But amazing enough, in my old age, you know, one thing my wife always says, I'm getting soft, and these girls are kind of, they really are making me soft. I'm getting kind of sympathetic anymore. But it's true, and Mac is a great example of that. You know, her and I have had a lot of conversations in the year and a half that we've been together. A lot of good ones and some not so good ones. But the thing that she's let us do is she's let us coach her. And she's become a really good basketball player because of that. She's a good offensive threat for us. She can shoot threes, and she's really crafty in the block, and I already talked about her high basketball IQ. But then defensively, she's probably one of our better defensive players. You know, we like to double post to post, and she's kind of like a free safety out there in football. You know, she just reads the passer's eyes, and when they throw it in there, she's going to go get the ball and make a turnover. She's going to double the post and cause a turnover. So she's really improved that way for us defensively. It makes us, you know, she causes a lot of turnovers for us, and a lot of teams know when she's in the game what's going to happen. But she's just come a long ways, and go back, you know, being sympathetic, you know, about seeing young kids grow up and become fine, outstanding individuals. She just told me she turned down the job for this summer. I'm like, good grief. My first job out of grad school, I was so happy to get. I wasn't turning anything down. Now she's looking at better ones. But I couldn't speak more highly of how far she's come. And just, again, the basketball player that she's turned herself into, she's worked extremely hard there. And then just growing up and become, again, a fine young lady. Is there any questions for me before we bring Mac up? Think about last week or this weekend coming up? They all got you first, Andrew. That's good. All right, McKenzie Kenny.
Thanks, Coach Larsen, for those kind words. We have to get that done in writing. So, my name is McKenzie Kenny. I am a senior forward. I'm number 40, but you probably know me because I wear a face mask. Right now, we're getting a new one of those shipped because it broke, and it's been taking a little difficult process to get one, but just got it ordered yesterday, so it should be here for the game on Friday. So, I am originally from Cincinnati, Ohio, but I was born in Mitchell, South Dakota. And when I was, I think, in the 3rd grade, I decided to move to Cincinnati. Don't know why still, but we moved out there. I have family both in Cincinnati and in Oak Point, Vermilion area, so kind of a slight USD fan over there, so Coach liked that right off the bat. So then when I was a senior in high school, I was dead set on environmental engineering. Didn't really want anything else, so I was getting basketball offers from some smaller schools, and none of them had environmental sciences. They were all like liberal arts. I could go be a teacher and nurse, and neither one sounded interested to me. So I decided I wasn't going to play basketball. Enrolled in another university 4 months, I think, a little under 4 months before I'm supposed to go to college. Like, I have my roommate picked out. I know where my dorm room is, and going to Ohio University is the one I was enrolled into. Coach Felderman calls me, and she says, "We just lost a post. Do you want to come out here?" She tried for about 2 weeks to get me to come visit, but it was just not possible. Cincinnati is one of the most expensive airports to fly out of. So I just decided, what the heck, I have my major, I could play basketball, my dad's over there, and he's like, yeah, let's do it. So I came out here and tried it, and best decision of my life so far. So when Coach Larsen came in last year, I'm a little hard-headed, he didn't mention that, that's why I said. Had some good meetings, had some not so good meetings. So he came in, and I was like, oh, this is going to be awesome, new stuff, He was really drilling into us, really trying to make the program for the better. And some things I love, some things I was just like, ugh, I don't want to work this hard, So he kept after me, I think it was this summer, really just finally just all clicked. And I was like, I do have 1 year left. I wish I had another one, sadly, but 1 year left, why not try to make the best of it? And I really just tried to work super hard this summer in preseason, just worked as hard as I could, and Coach Larsen really was able to coach me up a lot and just to show me how good I could be. Like, I didn't really have very much confidence before he came in, so I was just like, oh, I'm here for school. So Coach Larsen was really able to pray after me and get me going, and now I think we have, 40 days left of season of basketball, which is just absolutely, I don't know what I'm going to do afterwards. So getting that really setting into me lately, but I definitely think I've improved a lot, mainly all thanks to Coach Larsen. But so, also I just want to talk a little bit about, this past month, man. With finals ending, we all had stressful finals. I actually only had one final, but I had 5 design projects due, which are even worse than finals. So finals end, and we're going to Montana. We're all super excited, but we are drained mentally. We go to Montana. We played awesome basketball. We only won 1 game, but we were really feeling it. Then we had 7 days off. We're all super excited to get home. A lot of us had crazy travels. I knew I only had 5 days home. Ended up spending the night in Chicago. Had 4 days home. Get back, and we're already leaving again to go to Cali. We had an hour of practice, I think, maybe an hour and a half.
2 hours.
2 hours. So we fly out to Cali, and we're there, and it's cold, and we're all just like, okay. So we're not clicking at all, and finally by that 3rd game, we get a win. And then we come back, we have 1 more practice with BH, and that BH game was really tough on all of us. And so did we take Wednesday off after BH? Yeah, we took Wednesday off. We all hung out, of course. We always love to hang out. So we took Wednesday off, and then these last 5 days of practices, we have really just been getting after them. We've been competing so much, and I think that's what we really needed it's kind of just light a spark under us and really get us. We have everything we need. We just need to realize it and stop shooting ourselves in the foot, whether it be fouls or turnovers. So I think we're all ready for a win, a big win, especially against Dickinson. So I'm ready to play. That BH fouling out 13 minutes is not like how I'd like to go out my senior year, but you know, couldn't really take much. Probably should have kept laying on the ground. I shot to the throat, but nothing I could do about it. So this time, are there any questions?
You wear the face mask because of the nose?
Yeah, last year I broke my nose pretty bad. Kind of looked like a question mark, so kind of crazy. I also got it fixed this summer. Worst surgery ever. I mean, I thought it was too good for pain pills, but that is not true. Take those. That's why they give them to you. So I got the surgery done, and it is fixed, but it's more sensitive. And because I broke it so bad, he said it is still likely. And I have a face mask, so why not wear it? I don't want to go through surgery again. So.
What your face mask does it come out?
Oh, well, I didn't use it at BH, and it broke in my bag going to California. You know, you see those people like chucking bags on the side of the plane, and I'm just like, I know, my face mask already had like a crack in it. How that crack got there, I don't know. But, so hopefully it counts, but if not, oh, yeah. The last 3 games without it, 4 games actually.
Are we missing anything if we've never had Cincinnati chili?
Yes. Okay, actually, crazy thing. I never liked it when I was in Cincinnati. Never. Everyone eat it. I ate Skyline dip, which is like cream cheese, chili, and cheese. Ate that all the time, but didn't ever want Skyline. Come out here, and all of a sudden I'm just craving it. Go back home, I eat it every time I go home. So I didn't actually like it until I moved away from it, but I got a little more adventurous with my taste buds once I came to college. So, but it's good. Try it. I got a couple cans at home if you want some.
I actually didn't know McKenzie was from Ohio until Tuesday when she wore the Ohio State Buckeye sweatshirt.
I wore Ohio State stuff so much. I wore it Monday, I wore it Tuesday, of course, because we won the game, and he's like, "You're from Ohio?" He called me a bandwagon fan. It's not true. My grandpa played there, and great grandpa.
Thank you very much.
What is special about Cincinnati chili? I don't eat that much, as you can tell, but I don't even know what Cincinnati chili is. I'll have to find out. And Cincinnati chili.
Well, it's better fresh, but.
Okay. Indoor track season in full swing. Last but not least, the legend Jerry Schafer.
Yeah, Nate, I think I'm a legend in my own mind. So, Brad, I just want to let's cut the 3K highlights today, okay? So it might take a little too long. We kind of had a skeleton crew last week that came back early before classes that competed at Black Hill State. We had eight athletes, 5 men and 3 women. And while we didn't have any personal bests, we were kind of shaking off the rust. We still performed very, very well. We had 3 first places. Garrett Lane finished first in the 60 dash and the 60 high hurdles. Aaron Campbell finished first in the high jump and actually improved from his December performance. 2 second places, Tyler Peterson in the triple jump, and then Nick Alberts, who's with us today in the 200 meters. Nick also finished 3rd in the 60 dash, along with McKenzie Nordine's 3rd place in the 200, and Tasha Tim's 3rd place in the weight throw. Had several 4ths and a couple of 5ths as well out of our 8 athletes. I think only 1 event did we not finish in the top 5. And so we were very, very proud of the way the kids started, the few kids that were here. This week we go back up to Black Hill State on Saturday for the Dave Little Invitational. It's going to be a lot bigger meet. It's going to start earlier in the morning on Saturday, probably go till late at night the way things go up there. So but we're going to have the full crew going. I think we have 28 men entered and 15 women. So it's going to be a full crew. We're looking forward to that. So I'm not going to take any questions. I want to invite Nick Alberts up. Nick's a junior for us and one of our better sprinters. And so I'd like him to introduce himself and take questions.
kind of waiting for that video highlight reel. So. My name's Nick Alberts. Like I said, I'm a junior electrical engineering student. My hometown is Langford, South Dakota, and I mostly run 400s, occasionally a 260. I think I can speak for most of the track team. We're excited to get the season rolling. Some of us had 1 or 2 meets already, but most of us will have a meet completed after this weekend. You know, we're all been grinding every day for the last several months. You know, unfortunately, we've been on treadmills inside lately, which isn't, you know, quite as fun as being outside, but hopefully the weather cooperates and gets us going. But I guess, does anybody have any questions for me?
How tough is it to stay in shape, stay focused over the Christmas break?
It's pretty tough. You know, you go home and you get all this good food, and you know, you want to keep eating, but you know, you just gotta go outside, do what you can do with. Most of us, you know, go to small towns, don't have much to work with, so we're kind of outside running, you know, as much as we can, and just anything like Coach says, we have to run in place. You know, just run in place. You know, and we'll do the best we can. Yes.
What's your best time in 400?
I actually broke the school record, indoor school record last year with a 50.26. Last year, my last meet outdoor, I ran a 50.18. Yes.
So what's your strategy on a 400? Are you just going all out the whole way, or are you applying any strategy in there?
I get that question a lot, and yeah, there's no strategy. It's an all-out sprint the entire time. So, you know, it's a little tough. You know, you gotta, you know, the curves are a little different story. So you kind of got to take quicker strides on the curves, and then you can kind of lengthen it out on the back end a little bit. But it's an all-out sprint.
But what's your strength? Are you strong finisher?
I usually finish pretty strong. We've been working on kind of getting my starts a little bit faster, but kind of the home stretch is where I like to kick it in more so.
Was it feasible to break 50 seconds for you?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's been my goal for quite a while to break 50 seconds. So I'm hoping so this year I can get it done.
Tell us about your dad and your high school athletic career.
My dad graduated from here in '78. He played football for 4 years. He was an offensive tackle, I believe. And he graduated as a mining engineer.
What's his first name?
Leonard Alberts.
Okay.
And for me, I ran track for 4 years. I started as an 8th grader, but had to sit out my sophomore year due to a heart surgery. I played basketball for 4 years and football for 4 years. So, kind of is involved with everything, which helped with the track training. You know, you start out with football doing your, you know, kind of endurance type conditioning, and then you go to basketball where it's all sprint back and forth, and then you finally get to track and put it together.
Your dad hasn't told you he was a heck of a player.
Yeah, he likes to say that a little bit too much. It's nice. Larry Simonson and I actually went and found some old game film for him for Christmas. And so we got to watch that a little bit and see how true his stories actually were.
And what'd you think? Was he a good player?
Sometimes. No, he was pretty good. It was fun to watch. Are there any other questions? Thank you.
You make guys run in place over the Christmas break. That's the first time I've ever heard that. Two things about Friday and Saturday. Friday night is youth sports night. Women get going first. If you spread the word, kids 12 and under, they wear their sports jersey, they get it free. Saturday is Hardrocker Feeding Hunger Day. Going to help Feeding South Dakota bring in 2 cans of food. You get it free Saturday. So exciting weekend, Friday and Saturday. Then the teams hit the road next week. So I'll be in touch with everybody for the next Hardrocker Luncheon. Again, thanks to Pancheros. Thanks everybody. Have a good week.